Hi folks, just a quick pop in here. I wanted to show you what I was doing because I just discovered this. Again, for me it's all about play because that's where discovery is. I was making some backgrounds in my art journal. Here they are. And I put on this blue paint here and I had way too much. I meant to put a little drop to come out and a whole bunch came out. So I smeared it in and then I tried to take some off with my I use this Nova Phthalo Blue shade. Anyway, I tried to take some off with my baby wipe. And then I had all this paint stuck all over the baby wipe. So then I decided, oh, I'm going to lightly cover these little strips I cut earlier. Whole bunch from a book that was not something I was using. And I thought, oh, I'm going to turn these light blue because I have a journal I'm making that has a little bit of that in it. I'm like, oh, I'll be able to use these for something. But then I started doing it on my background sheet and I thought, oh, look at the marks it's making in terms of the negative space. So again, all this paint is now going on here to make this light blue because it's coming off my, no, nothing wasted here. It's coming off my wipe, but it's also making this interesting pattern on, now I'm paying attention to it to get some different ones, on this piece of paper. So, again, you never know what you're going to discover, right? So I decided, all right, Khadijah, let's just keep playing with this and turn the camera on. And then I've been doing this journal, baby farm animal journal, and I'm so uninspired by it. So I decided to just drop it and pick something out that I was really inspired by so I could do it and finish it and just make it for myself. Like really make something I love. So I picked out a book. I just started picking out materials, potentially some fabric for the spine. I'll show you the book, you guys. It's here because these blues, it doesn't have a lot of blue in it. It has very little blue. It's mostly greens. It's got a black background and a little bit of orange, goldy color. Very 70s illustration style. But I love it. So anyway, I thought I would show you how I'm coloring these strips, which I don't know how they'll get used yet, but I do know that I like having some blue. And I feel like this is a great way to use the paint that's coming off this baby wipe because I didn't want to waste it. So here I am rubbing it on strips of book page. And just by the way, it's acrylic paint, if anybody's wondering. Yeah, so here I am playing. I was trying to play in my sketchbook, but I had too much paint out. I'm a little bit hot. It's hot up in my room. I need to organize, but I'm so not into that right now. And yeah, I did 2 videos today. I still haven't posted anything, but I'm gonna get there. Okay, so now I feel like I have these lightly colored strips, which I don't know what I'm gonna do with. I might try to do one more. Let's do one more. Where do we want this to go? Right here. Now my not coming off as well because the baby wipe is starting to dry out. But I definitely was able to use the leftover paint. So I'm kind of excited about that. It's like using a stencil, or in this case, painting around a, what do they call it? Not a stencil, a mask. Yeah, it's like using a mask. But I like the color that's also going on the book pages. There we go. Okay, So that I can definitely use for something. These, look at these little light blue book pages. Super cute. Again, on a strip. So I just wanted to let you know I'm going to add on this crafty bit and bridge these two creative endeavors together, okay? So I know I've been doing a lot of hauls lately. Today I've got a little crafty bit. I am playing with some of my coffee dyed papers and trying to jazz them up for my new journal. Yeah, so I'm just going to give you a little tutorial of what I did, how I did it, and how you can adapt it for yours. So this is just a, I don't know, I think it's a 24-pound piece of, it's 20 or 24-pound piece of copy paper that I dyed with coffee. And then I just reached up to my mini books here, and I think this first one I did, I was just playing with it today. I almost turned the camera on while I was playing with it, but I thought, oh, let me just play. I reached up, I grabbed this little Spanish-English dictionary, ripped a couple of pages out, threw them down here on my paper thing here. And then the other side, I did the same thing, only I grabbed my little thesaurus that I had. Same thing, ripped out some pages and threw them down. So what I did was I kept them whole, and I'm going to show you it. We're going to do an example of it. And then I'll show you how I did this. So let's just do some of the, let's do the bigger thesaurus ones. Let's make sure we don't have any bad words here. Let's do marriage. Do this one. And we'll do 3 pieces here. I mean, you could use any paper, obviously. You could use papers from your kids' book. You could use dictionary. These are not the super sheer ones. Again, I just grabbed them from, let's do organization. All right, make sure we don't have too many. Okay, so I just laid out my papers like that. And then I had this pack of distress spray stains. So these are what they look like. I have a pack of 12 that I had not used yet. So I decided I was going to play with them. I did have these other ones, art sprays, that I had used. And so I started with those, but I wanted to play with the distress stain because I have a bunch of yummy materials and I haven't used them yet. So most of you, I don't know what you have. You can use distress spray. You can use spray. You can use watercolor. You can use acrylic ink. You could use acrylic paint. You could do anything. You're basically just coloring the page, right? You could probably use the distress inks and just smear those on as well if you wanted to. But really, it's about getting color on your page. Now, I'm doing the blues and the greens and trying to get a little bit muted because I'm making it for my book specifically, so I want to tie it in. So the way I started, and I'll just do what I did the first time I started, was shook it up. Oh, and when these, if you don't use them for a while, they get stopped up. So you don't have to take it, I just shake it. And what I did was I took a pin and stuck it in the hole. And you want to be careful and make sure it's not pointed at you because it squirted me right in the face. But it did open it up. So after that, it worked just fine. So let me just show you what I do. Just take it and just do little, depends on what colors you want. So I'm going to start with the blue. Just get a little bit of blue on here. Not too much. Doesn't have to be all over. You're going to mix your colors. You use whatever colors you want. I tend to use colors that are somewhat in the same color family, except for yellow I use with warms and cools. And the reason I do that is so I don't get too much mud. It just works better that way. Let's try this guy. I didn't use this guy last time. Now we got some green. And then let's do a little bit of antique linen. So you're just spraying it on, giving some color, depending on how dark you want it. Let's try a little mustard seed. I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, I like that color. It's a little gold. All right, now we got some color on there. So then what I did was I took my handy dandy dryer and dried them so it would go really fast. So I'm gonna do that, and I will pause you guys and bring you guys back. All right, guys, I'm back. So they're dry now. And the other thing too is if you play with this long enough too, you can always use this under paper as collage fodder as well, just FYI. All right, so now these are dry. What I usually do is I just kind of tear off the blank ends because I want the black from the words on here. And then usually I don't tear the end pieces because I can just put them on the end of the page and then cut them off. But I tear strips, and that's it. I'll do some this way. Sometimes I'll go the other way, and I just get myself some Painty paper strips. Let's just tear another one of these up. And that's all there is to it. And this just adds a little bit of color to your coffee page and kind of frames out your journaling space, which I think is kind of fun. Again, right now I'm making pages for specific journals, so let's see what happens here. I probably didn't have to tear that one. Yeah, so I'm trying to get to creating more because I've been very stuck in the phase of building my stash, shopping and watching. I do like to paint, so that I feel like is the best way for me to kind of get into it. So I always try to work with where's the easiest flow, and I think that helps anybody. It's so important to make and work with what you love, hence why I'm working with paint. I love paint. I love playing with paint. I love gluing, but I do like paint. So I thought, okay, that's a good doorway. I feel at ease with it. Let me work with paint while I'm working on these journals, and things will unfold and flow as I go along. But it's like, it's easier to float down the river than up the river. So I try to go with the flow. So that's why I'm doing this. You may or may not like paint. You may do something else. I've seen this done before with actual, I think it was Gail Agostino that I saw do it. She did it with, you know, leftover scraps of her digitals. So again, you're just framing it out, and you could do straight edges if you like straight edges. You could do, you know, you could cut them out with a punch and do a punch. I just wanted to do something more organic just because that was the mood I was in today. So anyway, this one's done. Fold it over. We've got our strips, so let me just show you how to glue. Let's actually try, let's see, I've got another copy paper I could do. Let's do I got another copy paper. Let's do this guy. Let's do a little one, something like this. So we've got a whole page. Let's do that. All right. So you're really just, again, I'm going to work with the frame again. I could just do the sides. Maybe I'll just do the sides on this one, but it's super easy peasy. Now, when you've got it on the fold, that's the one edge you've got to line up because, yeah, because you don't want it to fold over on itself. So I'm going to put this guy here. Let's take that off, put it right in the fold. That works perfect there. Let's get some paper for gluing. Where's my glue stick? It was on this messy desk somewhere. All right, let's get a new glue stick. All right. Let's put some glue on it. So how's everybody doing today? I hope you're creating. I hope you're enjoying what you're doing. It's really nice to have you here and join me as I step into making journals. Yeah. I put that too close. You want to make sure you leave room so when you fold it over, it's not on the edge. There we go. We're fine. Okay. Oh, we've got enough room. That's perfect. All right. And that's all you're doing. You're just trimming it out with whatever vibe or look that you like. I don't want to have all that blank, so I'm going to turn this here. I'll do one that has more yellow. I like the yellow. All right, so I need to do kind of a straight edge here. That is my ruler. I don't necessarily need a ruler. Let's just use this guy. Okay. There we go. Some glue on that baby. All right. I did it this way. There we go. Leave enough room. There we go. All right. And that's all there is to it. You just glue it on. And then you've got a little frame. Go ahead and finish this one. Usually I don't finish my projects on here. But right now I'm at the stage with this new journal of I'm at the stage of making or putting together my pages. Maybe that's what I'll do next. Maybe you guys want to come join me while I show you how I select my pages, which is kind of, I don't really have a set process with that, so I don't know why I said that, but I'll share with you the process of selecting my pages. Also, I have in my past journals made these little stripy, what do we call them? Stripy master boards. And I would love to, share with you how I turn those into some journaling cards, or I have some that I made that I'm going to turn into journaling cards, or pockets for my new journal. Can you tell what colors it's going to be? All right, let's do that. And that's it. Super easy. All right, let's let that dry for a second. All right. And then you've got this whole collection you can save of painty papers if you like to paint. You can also use acrylic, just so you know. I had some out, I didn't use it. I really wanted to play with it because I really love this color, which I'll probably do another one. It's called Antelope Brown. It is such a beautiful, it's kind of a muted color. I mean, it's definitely for more of like if you're doing a forest journal or a woodlands journal. It's super pretty. It looks really good. I'm just going to add some on here. I don't know why. Because I can, right? Why not? Yeah. Again, we're just playing. The journal I'm doing is not really a woodland journal. Anyway, so let's go back and I'll show you. We'll go ahead. So once this is dry, then you can just, take it, and it's not really dry yet. Trim it out. There's my scissors. And then just trim around your pages. And now this is not a full page on the other side, but again, I'm going to add a piece of paper to make this full page. I'm going to Franken style it. I have to do these smaller tutorials because I am a very slow crafter. Okay, so now you see you have a little wonky frame around a page, which would go with other pages. Let's say we're doing something like this. Again, these are two colors right next to each other, but you open it up, and there's your page. Yeah, anyway, I'm happy with that. I feel like it's a fun way to use up your papers, use up some of your paint, sprays, distress inks, whatever you want to add color, but frame out those beautiful words that are written from the heart in your journals or for those friends and people that you create for. All right, everyone, thank you so much for showing up today. I appreciate you. Stay tuned for me putting together the pages of my journal, as well as making some journal cards and pockets with my stripy masterboards. Also, there will be lots more hauls because I still have more stuff to clean and put away in my art room. And I want to share all those goodies with you guys. Okay, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And if you're not doing something creative, I hope you're doing something that brings you joy. Bye-bye.